Hey folks, so we're finally here. This is the ZFG Lucky Deck Complete. This sucker is about to roll out the shop, and there's been a few slight tweaks on this production version versus the pre-production version that was in a prior video that I released. I'll put a link below so you can take a look at that. I'll just start off with the deck itself. Huge thanks to the team at Flow State. I pushed them to make the deck a little bit different in that I wanted a hard edge on the deck itself, just so when I do a two-tone colorway, you get a nice crisp sharpness on there and it gives off a really clean finish. So huge shout out to the Flow State team for accommodating that slight tweak. Some of the things that have changed here, we've got the JDM countersunk washers all around, which gives it, again, a nice clean factory look. The riser pads, I sent a picture to the person I'm building this absolute unit to, and they asked the question, you know, with the cutout, does the heel overhang at all? And we ran a few tests. I'm a size 11 foot and the heel didn't overhang, but I thought, you know what happened if I did make some cutouts and put them down? And I actually quite like that. So yeah, last minute changes, and they've come out really clean and really nice as well. So yeah, so deck, those cutouts are a little bit different, and also the riser pads are notched at the bottom, so if there's any water or anything that can flow through underneath, and it also helps maintain the flex as well. That's about it. One of the other key things was on the production release, as opposed to the pre-production release, is Radium have released the new version of motor mounts. These are the prod versions. They're available now on the Radium site. They're installed on this beast. And it's rocking the full Radium back end from 173 kV motors, 6385, to the 20mm belt setup with a 78T wheel pulley and 16T motor pulley as well. Super torquey, right? Still powered by the Maker X DV6 Pro, 110 motor amps, 70 battery amps. Lots of power to pull you up any hill. And if you really were adventurous, you could actually increase that some more. 120 would be a good number to go to. It'll be a lot of power, but 110 is what I run, and I find it to be the sweet spot, I think. The other key changes. Huge shout out to Glyphix for coming up with a really cool design for this build right here. And it's fitting that he's come up with the design, because not only did he come up with his image, but also the batteries built by Glyphs as well. The reason being is because there's just so many moving pieces to getting a production board like this out the door that I can't be expected to do everything, right? So 12S 6P pack has been built by yours truly. It is a cleanly executed build. It's 72 cells, and I like the way he does build these batteries because it's an 8x9 cell count, and it leaves plenty headroom for all the connectors to happen on this side going out. So if you are looking at building a mountain board yourself, and you're going to use one of these awesome enclosures, you got to get a battery that's built like this with that specific layout. Highly recommend it. That closes up. So yeah, huge thanks. And you know, Melbourne-based, Radium Melbourne-based, Glyphix Melbourne-based, the team at Flow State, Melbourne-based. They live 15 kilometers down the road. These decks are pressed 15 kilometers down the road. And MBS, they are Melbourne-based. They're based out of Mornington as well. They kit me out with all the really cool Rockstar Pro aluminium hubs, tires, and Matrix 3 trucks, which are super sexy. For this build, they're on the inside settings on the front and the outside settings on the rear. The users come off a double kingpin truck style board, and I just want to give it that twitchiness that they're probably already used to. I think having them both on the inside setting, it's super squirrely twitchy. I'm hoping that this is an in-between in being able to do some high speed and some really cool carving ability as well. So yeah, so who we got? We got, I mentioned flow state, mentioned MBS, we got a new battery builder on board. So I'm happy to sell these decks as completes with our batteries. And if you want me to source that battery for you, that's easy as, or you can go do it yourself, right? Either or, I'm easy to work with. We've spoken about radium, flow state team, and obviously Maker X, right? Cool ESCs, super high powerful, super reliable. The team at Ben Buckler, they supply all my controllers, right? Hoi Puck, the irrefutable king of reliability. You can't go past it, right? So they're pretty cool controllers. So now with this specific board, because it's a DV6 Pro, we have an on-off button. So to turn it on, you press the button, and to turn it off, you press the button. That's pretty cool, right? But with all my builds, irrespective of whether you have a button or not, I'll always put a loop key on there. And the reason being is because 24 months from now, if this button breaks or you swap out an ESC, something happens in the back end, you've got a backup plan. So you can use this to disconnect power from your battery going out to your ESC, or it can be used to turn your board on and off depending on what's happened, right? So you can leave that plugged in permanently and your board will be off. It's not on. We turn it on and it's active. If I unplug it from here, I'm effectively disconnecting power from the battery out to the back end and nothing's happening there. Maybe if you're going away and you want to sever the power to your back end, I know there's some ESCs out there that cause parasitic drain on your batteries. Maker X isn't one of them, fortunately. Also, you might have kids. They might turn your board on and you might not check on it for weeks and you don't want your battery to drain, right? So it's just a cool little backup plan for you anyway. So I'm going to put that in there. And again, your board is now on and it's active. So you can turn your board on and off via this button. Whoop. There it is, off. And it's on. So now, Hoi Puck, that's on. You can check the battery by pressing the power and you'll see that they're blue. If those lights are red, it means it's going to go dead. And this is the M button is your mode. So 1 vibration is low speed, 2 vibrations medium setting, 3 vibrations, that's your highest setting, so it's virtually unlocked. And then the way this works is that you've got full forward, hold back, reverse, it stops, and then reverse again, full reverse. So that's the way they're set up, that's the way I configure them and send them out the door, right? So real easy to operate, simple, effective and reliable to use. Let me just turn this board off just in case I tap that throttle accidentally. So that's off now and that's done. And old mate just keeps vibrating until we flick that off as well. We've got the sandpaper on the side as well, so nice and grippy. But all up, yeah, huge thanks to everyone in Melbourne that helped support and get this build off the ground. It really was quite an achievement considering the first batches that were released and progressing those. Now we're in that production phase. This entire board, I think 80 to 90% has been made, designed and assembled here in Melbourne. So that's an amazing feat on its own, considering that if you're on the line and taking a look at all the different posts that are being released, you know, a lot of stuff's coming from overseas, and it's okay. But I'm a huge fan of making something that's local and having local support on those products as well. So that's where I'm focusing a lot of my attention on, and everybody that's helped get this off the ground is in some way local and is represented locally. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone that's helped. That's it. I think I'm still sunlight outside. I'm going to take this bad boy for a spin. Let's do a bit of a twirl. I really do like the back end. One thing I have done, I think I've unlocked the key to getting really cool cable braiding, and it's come up pretty damn sweet, if I do say so myself. Nice, neat, clean. The braids themselves terminate just before the 5.5mm connectors. So in the future, you can easily disconnect them and reconnect them up to a new ESC. So it makes it just super easy from a ongoing support perspective. Belts, I do have a new belt supplier. These belts are Omega belts, and they are directional, so they have arrows pointing to the direction that they should be installed in. I know some of the other belts that I've supplied didn't have those arrows, but these ones do. So yeah, if you are installing these belts, make sure you put them on the right way as well. Yeah, but apart from that, it looks pretty damn sweet. There's going to be pictures and stuff online. You guys can check them out. I'll lift that up again. Look at that. That is pretty cool. You know, we've got the super tough enclosure with that handle there. You know, you can, oh, do you really need to go to the gym? You can just do a workout like that, right? There you go. What can I say? It's here. If you are interested in getting one of these decks completed, hit me up. I'll work on a case-by-case basis, right? Any colorways, images, whatever folks are into, I'm happy to punch them out. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go ride this. Sucks to be you because you can't ride it. But anyhow, I'll catch you all later. Cheers.